myself, I'll go over that one.
You took care of that thing for me, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I can't hear. I don't know. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. All right. Today is August the 13th of 2015. This is the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City. On our expedited docket, we have just one item. It's a Bao Ying Ling Yanzing Company. Trade name is Gilmore Tavern at 300 North Gilmore. This is a Class A beer, wine, liquor application for transfer of ownership. Chairman, I did receive a letter of support for this application by email from a local resident, and that has been added to your file as Exhibit 1.
I have that.
Oh, yes, sir, I'm sorry. Thank you.
For the record, counsel.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. For the record, J.U. representing the petitioner is Bao Ling, the applicant. And Mr. Pat, who's the current licensee, is also present today, Your Honor.
Okay.
And if I may,
You may proffer the case if you like,
Yes.
unless you feel that you need to have some of these folks testify, and then we would have to have them sworn in.
I'll proffer. I'll proceed by proffer.
And just for the record, we have the letter from Joyce Smith. I don't know, is that? That's Ms. Smith. And
Yes.
she sent the letter in. Did you see this?
I haven't had a chance to look
Okay.
at it.
Well, it's a letter of support,
Thank
so.
you. No objection.
Okay.
I also have a support letter, the original copy, from the Community Association, Your Honors. I made copies for the commissioners.
You want this for the record?
Yes.
Okay. The original back.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
President of Franklin Square Community Association, yes? Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Lin Bao, she's the president of the Yuan Zhang Inc., is also the applicant. And Ms. Lin has no prior criminal convictions, no serious traffic convictions, and she is a person of a good moral character, Your Honors. And she has been a Baltimore City resident and a property owner since 2004. And therefore, I believe that she qualifies as a licensee and applicant. Therefore, we request that the board approve the transfer.
Experience selling liquor, bars?
She,
That's okay, don't.
really apologize. She has no prior experience with the liquor business, but she is under training with Mr. Pack, the current owner. But she does have some experience operating and managing a small business, which is a grocery store.
So she's working with the current licensee
Yes.
to learn the business
Yes, sir.
from the inside out, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Madam Secretary, do you have anything else?
No, sir, the application is complete. Otherwise, we had postponed this case on July 30th in regards to that community issue, but otherwise we have no other issues.
And that's been resolved,
Yes.
apparently. Questions from the commissioners?
None here.
Not here.
We're ready to vote. I'm a yes.
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 That's it. Have a good day, sir.
Just over here so I can make sure I get your,
Thank you, Ms. Smith, for coming in.
thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is a violation. It is the other two items, Martin Corboy and Brent Sale and Jawanger Singh and Aaron Butler, have both been postponed just on the regular docket. So the next item is a violation. It's Santos Alvarado and Irma Gomez. This is Asaditos Lounge, LLC, Asaditos Lounge at 4701-03 Eastern Avenue. This is a Class D, beer, wine, and liquor. The first charge is in regards to illegal conduct that occurred on June 19th, 2015. At approximately 5:45 p.m., Baltimore City Police Lieutenant William Colburn observed a Cadillac SUV parked in a tow zone. Thank you. But let me just read the other charges just to make sure I get the charges in.
Waive the reading and admit the file for the record. Just let me ask you a question to
Mm-hmm.
try and expedite things, Mr. Kensky. Are your clients going to admit or deny?
Well, I think that they're admit with an explanation, and let me indicate, it's only a beer and wine license.
I
think
understand
they're-
that. So they're going to admit, so we don't need to swear in the witnesses and have testimony from the
No.
lieutenant? You're not going to examine any of the witnesses?
That'll be a first, but no, I won't.
No,
No,
okay,
I will
so
not.
we're just going to be heard in mitigation? and
Correct.
Whatever the sentence is?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to admit for the record the file, and we're going to move on so that we don't have to take any testimony from the lieutenant or the inspector,
That's correct.
and you're going to be heard in mitigation.
Correct.
Okay, let's roll.
For the record, Melvin J. Gadensky representing the licensee, as indicated, it's just a beer and wine license, not beer, wine, liquor. This current licensee has been
Oh,
here
yeah.
since April of last year, has not been before the board. What had happened here is, and I'm a prophetess, so I don't have to have an interpreter, is that she had talked to another party who owned a place called La Bamba, which is another location. The place has an upstairs and a downstairs, and the person from La Bamba was going to do something on the upstairs. She was getting the process of signing a lease to let him operate upstairs. He then was bringing his product from La Bamba, and I think that verifies it, to this location. Once I sat down and talked to her about it, I was able to say, you cannot do this. You can't have somebody bring product from somewhere else, and you cannot sign this lease. So the lease was done by another attorney in Highlandtown. I'm not sure who it was, somebody from the Hispanic community. So I talked to the attorney. They terminated that relationship. The person who then, he left, and he took the product out of there to back to wherever he got it from. So it wasn't her product. Regarding the records, I explained to her that she have to have, not only have the records at home, they have to be on the premises, so that if, you want to keep two sets of records because you think it's going to take it, you keep one at the premises and one at the location. As indicated, this licensee had not been before the board. The records is, I can't,
You can continue. You can continue.
I'm sorry.
The records, I can't argue that. And regarding the relationship with wholesalers and so forth, although it was not her product, that product was on the premises. When it shouldn't have been, but it was removed. And in fact, when the fellow left, he took some of her property, but that's a civil issue. It has nothing to do with this.
Which one's Mr. Marino?
Mr. Marino's here.
That's him.
Yeah, that's the husband.
Right, and then when Mr. Christomolo came back and said, "I'll be back in a couple hours," he still didn't have the record.
Right.
Okay.
Because he didn't
They
talk
were-
to his wife.
Okay. All
Sometimes
right.
husbands don't always talk to their wives.
Really? Oh, okay,
Talk to my wife, she'll verify that.
okay.
That's why we've been married 50 years.
Is that why?
I think.
Okay.
But, I would like to take it as an isolated instance. They know they're not to do this. And I talked with the inspector. He said they were cooperative, and they talked to him. I think Mr. Christomalis could verify that. I don't want to make it more than it really is. The records, I can't argue. The other one, I think, was a mistake that she shouldn't have made when somebody was trying to talk her into doing something there that she couldn't do. But once we terminated it, that was it. In fact, I wouldn't let her sign the lease when she brought the lease in. I said, do not sign it, let's get him out of here.
Questions from the commissioners? Mr. Jones?
No, they're admitting to everything, so.
No questions.
No questions? So we move then to the sentencing phase, Mr. Kadensky.
Well, as mentioned, I asked that, since it's the first time they're in front of the board, there's no prior incidents, the records speak for themselves. The other two, I think they should be merged between the two of them in some sort of combination, because they're virtually the same. 4.18 and 4.10 is virtually the same, although I'm not sure how you view what they call illegal conduct. It's inappropriate, not exactly illegal, but I'm not arguing, I'm just doing it for disposition for mitigation purposes.
I can't speak for the other commissioners, but I would find a violation of Rule 3.03 with a fine of $500. Mr. Jones? It's your call.
before, did you rule on whether you're going to combine?
I didn't combine either one of those. I didn't make a finding on either one of those. So if you want to do that, that's
Okay,
certainly up to you, and then it's up to the new member. So
if you're just going to just rule on just one, item,
I just ruled on the one, 3.3 for $500, but
And
it
that's
takes
it?
two to
I'm
carry
with
the-
you on that, if that's what you're doing, just the one.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
I agree.
I agree on the Rule 3.03 violation as well. It's $500.
And no finding on the other two. Madam
Could-
Secretary?
So the other two dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
Was
Yes,
it,
ma'am.
and we get them 2 weeks? Okay, 2 weeks to get that.
Plus the fee
So
of.
it's a 125 fee, so a total of 625.
Absolutely.
In 2 weeks. Got
Okay.
it?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kadensky. Have a nice day.
Gotta get your ticket here.
1 second. So 2 weeks, I'll give you till the end, I'll give you 1 month just so we know, make it clean. 2015, 625 total. There you go. Have a good day. All right.
Lieutenant, you're excused if you want to, but if you want to stick around and... Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Not a problem.
So the next license is Lenny Sierra, Sierra Inc. Trade name is Trio Lounge at 3907-09 East Lombard Street. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor, a violation of Rule 4.10A, Relations with Wholesalers, on July 1st, 2015. I believe you have the Agent Calvert is here from the Maryland Comptroller's Office to provide particulars.
This is Agent Calvert, correct? Mr. Hurdle, what are we going to do? Are we going to cross-examine witnesses? Are we going to swear them in? Or are we going to...
As much as I'd like to cross-examine witnesses, with Mr. Calvert's presence, I think we'll be admitting today.
Okay.
Just to clear up the record, Abraham Hurdle on behalf of Lenny Sierra, Sierra Inc., trading as Trio. Mr.
Just for housekeeping purposes. Madam Secretary, we're going to admit the file for the record in the event there's an appeal, so everything that's in the file goes up on appeal. Okay? All right, go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. Abraham Hurdle for Lenny Sierra, Sierra Inc., trading as Trio. Mr. Sierra is a relatively new licensee. He got his license before the board last summer. And the winter months have been difficult months, I guess, difficult spring. Facing some financial difficulties. The situation was he ended up purchasing some alcohol, not from a wholesaler, and he was caught. We asked today that any fine be suspended if possible. He has to pay the supplier back, had to pay for the beer. The beer was purchased in Maryland, taxes were paid on it. It just wasn't purchased through a proper wholesaler. Has to pay me and then whatever the fine is on top of that, so. Given that he only has 1 violation versus 3 as the last licensee did, we'd ask that it be $500 fine suspended to $150 would be my request.
Doesn't hurt to ask, does it?
Doesn't hurt to ask. What's the administrative fee, of course?
Well, of course. This is,
Mr. Sierra.
this is Mr. Sierra.
Mhm.
Mr. Sierra, you know, you bought it at retail, and then you sold it again, and now you're gonna have to pay the state the tax on it. You realize that, right? And there are rules. That's why he's got a job and he comes out and checks people. And your lawyer basically wants a free pass for you breaking the rules.
Wouldn't say-
I didn't say free,
Free pass.
it's, in essence, he's doing his job, okay, he's trying to represent you. The maximum fine is 500.
if I understand it correct.
Right. And I would be willing to cut it in half to 250 because he's gonna have other financial obligations to the state to repay all these other folks and to pay you and get things right. Don't come back because it's not gonna be good. Okay, you understand? All right, Mr. Jones,
I agree.
I agree as well, given the taxes.
250 plus the cost. How much time do you need,
You have
Mr.?
30 days if that's possible.
30 days, Madam Secretary?
Yes, I have it for September 13th.
Got it.
I think next time we should have the evidence brought in and into the record. That would be beneficial for everybody.
All the beer?
I don't know if it's
drink-
beer, it could just be, could be water in those bottles.
Well, you know, I don't
The only way
drink.
to check.
I haven't had anything to drink in 25 years, so it wouldn't do me any good unless you
Me
bring
neither.
Pepsi or water.
I don't know that there's beer in the bottles. Next time, we could find out.
Well, you can try, you can always cross-examine the agent. I'm sure he'd be glad to testify that there was beer in those bottles. I don't think you want to go down that road, Mr. Earl. All right?
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you very much.
Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
gentlemen.
Sorry for the short docket. This is all for today, sir.
That's it. Oh, well, that's what happens. Thanks, Harvey.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, Elizabeth? Yeah,
See, you were
absolutely.
posted all weekend.
Absolutely.
So smooth.
I've been thinking about how to make it better every day, every day.
Well, I won't see you for a while, but it's always a pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
All right, take care. Folks, everybody.
All right, Harvey, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.